Hello everyone and welcome to Immigrate with French. In this video we'll talk about how to improve your second or third attempt when it comes to taking the TEF Canada exam. So if you're watching this video, most probably the chances are that you have attempted the TEF Canada exam and you did not get the score that you wished to achieve, and you're going to, or you're planning to go for the exam one more time. So unfortunately, this is the case for so many people. Many people go for the TEF Canada exam and in the first try they don't score, or in the first attempt they don't get the needed score, so they have to go again. Good news is that many of the people who go again to the exam, they are able to score what they need in the second try, and they get the score they need and they just move on. So if you have not achieved the needed score in the TEF Canada exam try, please don't panic and know that you're not alone. And by the end of this video, I'll be giving you practical tips or practical steps to take in order to improve your chances in the second or in the coming attempt. So we are trying to find what went wrong. We are going to plan what to focus on and how to make sure you actually improve in the next attempt. So my first advice, if you have not achieved the score, is to reflect before you retry. So once you receive the score and you realize that, oh no, this is not the score that I can have, I need a better score, please take the time to reflect about what went wrong before you decide to register or before you actually register again for the exam. So take the time to sit down and think what actually went wrong. Was it a time management? For example, you were not able to catch up with the pace of the exam in listening or reading and you ended up missing several questions? Was it lack of vocabulary? You were not able to understand so many things and you felt that this was kind of a barrier for you? Did you feel like you were so stressed when you were speaking, so you were not able to do better? What exactly went wrong? So you can't improve what you don't understand, okay? So instead of just saying, oh, I failed, and just, accepting the fact that, oh, I didn't score and that's it. No. Open your results, see it section by section, sit down and think exactly what went wrong, okay? Thinking about the problem will be the first step in solving it. So take the time. This is a very important step. Don't skip it. Sit down, think. Nobody can do this better than you, okay? So don't feel that your tutor can do this better than you, or if you find a new tutor, you tell them, oh, I feel they're going to, help you to achieve better. It is you who should be able to identify exactly why you failed, okay? So if you didn't score, just sit down and think exactly why you didn't score enough. Something to remember is that TEF Canada exam is not only a language test, it's also a performance test. So, maybe you know the grammar very well, but when it comes to using this grammar in actually speaking or in writing, you have not practiced enough, so going to lose very easy points. Important to sit down and determine exactly the reasons of this score. Another important thing to consider is actually how far are you from your target. So when we say that, okay, I haven't achieved the score or the needed score, does this mean that you are at CLB 4 or 5, or that you have been at CLB 6 and you need only maybe 10 to 20 points to get the score you need? So this is really important. If you are very close, you are very close to achieving the score you need, okay, you needed 10 more points, 20 more points, maybe 30 more points, then in this case, it means that the base is already there, the foundation is there, and you just need more practice, you need more precision, you need more confidence, and you need to improve a little bit more in this particular section. But let's say if a person will achieve, the person needs CLB 7 and above, and the person ends up scoring CLB 4 or 5. In this case, actually, this is an indication that there is a gap in your knowledge. So this often happens because I have seen so many people, they rush into, they stop somewhere while learning French, and then instead of continuing to learn French, they rush into attempting mock exams, and they learn from the mock exams whatever they can, and then they book a try, they book the TEF Canada exam, and they just say, okay, I'll give it a try. So this is one of the reasons many people don't score. This is often, I understand that this is often because of a time constraint that people need to finish by a certain time. So whether they are ready or not, they want to give it a try. I totally understand this. But again, this is one of the reasons why people often don't score. So if you're scored far from the target, then it is important to go back and to study where you left off. If, for example, you stopped at the B1, I have students tell me, oh, I learned actually till the B1, but I have to prepare for the exam by this date. So if you know that you have prepared till the B1, please go back and study, continue what you have to study, okay? If you have studied, but you feel that, oh, actually there are so many things I don't master so well, like, there are several tenses in grammar that I get so confused by. I'm not good at this and that. In vocab, I don't have, I get so confused, I keep forgetting the words. Please go back and study these and master these tenses. Please go back and revise this vocabulary you master before you start again to answer mock exams and before you start to practice again, so that you have the confidence and the knowledge that you need. You don't want to keep going for the exam so many times. It will be a waste of time, money. It may even affect your own self-confidence regarding the exam. So please try to prepare and try to see exactly where you are and what you need, and then accordingly determine what you need to work on. Another important tip is to focus strategically. So what I mean by this is that suppose the person got their score and they find that, okay, my lowest score is in writing and I have to improve that, so I'm going to practice only writing. So what they do is that they practice only writing and they ignore the other 3 skills. Or especially if a person has scored a good score in one section, suppose the person got CLB 8 in listening, so they'll feel, I scored CLB 8 in listening, I'll be fine. And they just focus on writing, they go back to the exam, and when they get the score, surprise, the listening score has actually dropped. And this time it's the listening that has the problem and no longer the writing. And then they wonder, how come, I got a good score in the first time listening? So guys, when you have a weak skill, definitely give a lot of effort to this weak skill. However, at the same time, put effort in revising the other 3 skills as a maintenance to them, okay? You don't want to forget them. You don't want to forget how to answer them. You don't want to forget the kind of questions, or you don't want this skill to kind of, fade a bit in your memory and in your mind, You want to stay ready to answer all the sections of the exam and not just the section where you did not score. So please focus on the weak score while continuing to revise the other 3 skills or the other 2 skills, whichever were good at that time. Rethink your study approach. So if you feel that it was your study approach that caused you to score less than what you need, then it's very important to rethink or reconsider how you studied. So it's not a good idea to do the same exact thing and expect different results. So if you feel that the way you study was not productive for you, it's important to try and change that. For example, if you feel that no matter how many times you study vocab, you keep forgetting it, it's important to make mind maps, make flashcards. If you feel that no matter how much you try in writing and speaking by your own, you feel that they are not improving, get the help of a tutor, get the help of maybe a friend who has passed the exam. So it's important to see exactly what's not working and to work on actually fixing it, rather than to say, oh, this is what I know, let's just try again and book again without actual steps taken. So if, for example, you feel you are struggling with listening, it's important to keep practicing listening. Challenge yourself with more advanced listening. Challenge yourself with, for example, DALF C1 listening, listen to actual podcasts in French, listen to debates en français. When you challenge yourself with a higher level of listening, and at that point you will feel that the TEF Canada listening is way easier or clearer, and it's even more predictable. So take actual steps to improve the way you study. Another thing is to practice under real conditions. So if you had your exam before, now know how it goes. And I mean, even if you didn't have the exam before, we have the practice material that shows us exactly how it goes. You don't need to go once to get an idea. So you know how it goes, practice under real conditions. So for example, if you're practicing reading or listening, then set a timer. No pausing for audios, no repeating the audio, okay? Practice the way it is in the exam. If you're going to practice speaking or writing, practice under timed conditions. Set a timer, start writing or start speaking exactly the way you would in the exam. So don't take your time in writing and, edit as much as you want, write a bit today and continue tomorrow, and then expect that, oh, hopefully in the exam I'll be able to finish on time. Or even worse, that you write, you don't revise, you actually use some even the word editor tool to find the mistakes for you, or any AI tool to find the mistakes for you, and you feel that, oh, in the exam, I'll be able to find my mistakes. If you have not practiced finding your own mistakes, you most probably will not find them in the exam. You will, no matter how many times you read the same lines, you will not see the mistakes. And this happens a lot with my students. I find many mistakes in their paragraph, and when I ask them, have you revised this? They say, yeah, I have read it, but I've never seen that, and they are really surprised. But I'm not surprised. If you have not practiced, you are not going to notice your own mistakes. They'll be in front of your eyes, but you're not going to see them. So this is a skill. This is a skill that needs to be developed. This is a skill that needs to be worked on in order to develop it, in order to sharpen it. Okay, so practice under real conditions to improve your chances at future exams. One last thing is, and it's extremely important, it's your mindset. So guys, don't see your previous attempt as a failure. Don't keep it in your mind that, oh my God, I failed before, will I ever get it? Don't put, these negative ideas in your mind. Actually, you have learned a lot from the first attempt, and often the second attempt feels way easier because you're not starting from scratch anymore. You are starting from experience. You have been to the exam, you know what it felt like, you know what it is like, you know everything. You probably even know the place. So don't rush, stay consistent, find what's wrong, work on it, and then go again to the exam when you are more ready. I'm not saying take all the time in the world, but or register for the exam when you are ready. And believe me, improvement is completely possible in the next attempt. Don't let that hold you back. Don't let that affect your self-confidence, but know that it was just an attempt. You learned a lot from it, and there is a big opportunity to score the needed score in the next attempt. Okay, guys, so here are my tips if you have not scored and if you're planning to retake the TEF Canada exam in the near future. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments which section are you struggling with, and I'll prepare more future videos for that specific part. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. A bientôt. Thanks for watching. Preparing for TEF Canada exam? Subscribe now for more weekly tips.